there, my friend. It's your favorite little investor with 6 legs and a big dream, the investing ant. And today we need to talk about something that most people think is super complicated, super boring, or just plain impossible. Saving money. Oh, I can already hear some of you groaning. I know. You've heard it all before, right? Save more, spend less, blah blah blah. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets interesting. What if I told you that everything you think you know about saving money is probably wrong? What if saving money isn't actually about money at all? Stay with me here, because this is going to change everything. You see, I'm just a tiny ant. I don't make a 6-figure salary. I don't have a fancy job title. I don't drive a luxury car or live in a mansion. But you know what I do have? I have something that's worth more than all of that combined. I have discipline. And that, my friend, is the real secret that nobody wants to talk about. Because here's the truth, the uncomfortable, beautiful, liberating truth. Saving money isn't about how much you earn. It's about who you are. It's about your habits. It's about your mindset. It's about doing the small things consistently, grain by grain, day by day, dollar by dollar, until those small things become something massive. Let me paint you a picture. In my world, in the ant colony, we don't sit around waiting for a windfall. We don't wait for someone to hand us a giant crumb on a silver platter. We go out every single day, and we find one grain of sand, one tiny piece of food, one small resource, and we carry it home. And then we do it again, and again, and again. That's it. That's the whole strategy. And you know what happens? By the end of the season, we've built an entire empire underground. We've stored enough food to survive the winter. We've created wealth, security, and abundance, one microscopic piece at a time. That's not magic. That's discipline. Now, I want you to think about your own life for a second. How many times have you said to yourself, I'll start saving when I make more money, or I'll start investing when I get that promotion, or I just need to pay off this one thing first, and then I'll get serious about my finances? Be honest. We've all been there. I've been there. But here's what I learned, and this is crucial. That moment you're waiting for, it never comes. Because saving money isn't about having more. It's about being more. It's about becoming the kind of person who saves, regardless of how much is coming in. Let me break this down for you in the simplest way possible. Imagine you earn $1,000 a month. Now imagine you save just 10% of that. That's $100. Just $100. That's like skipping a couple of fancy coffees, one dinner out, or that random thing you were going to buy on impulse and forget about next week. Now, $100 might not sound like much. In fact, it might sound kind of pathetic. But here's where the magic happens. If you save $100 every single month for a year, that's $1,200. In 5 years, that's $6,000. In 10 years, that's $12,000. And that's without any interest, without any investments, without any growth. That's just raw discipline. Just showing up, just doing the work, grain by grain, month by month, dollar by dollar. But wait, it gets better. Because once you start saving, once you build that muscle of discipline, something incredible happens. You start to see opportunities. You start to notice where your money is actually going. You start to question purchases. You start to think differently. And that, my friend, is when everything changes. Because saving money isn't just about the money you keep. It's about the person you become in the process. Let me tell you a story. There was a time when I thought I needed to carry the biggest crumb back to the colony to prove myself. I wanted to impress everyone. I wanted to show off. So I found this massive piece of bread, way bigger than I could actually carry, and I tried to drag it home. And you know what happened? I exhausted myself. I got nowhere. I wasted an entire day. Meanwhile, my colony mates, they were making trip after trip with tiny grains, tiny seeds, tiny bits of food, and by the end of the day, they had brought home 10 times more than I did. That's when it hit me. Success isn't about the big flashy moves. It's about the consistent small ones. It's about showing up every single day and doing the work, even when it feels insignificant, especially when it feels insignificant. And that's exactly how saving money works. You don't need to save $500 a month to be successful. You don't need to cut out every single pleasure in your life. You don't need to live like a hermit. You just need to start. Start with $1. Start with $5. Start with whatever you can and do it consistently. Because here's the secret that rich people know and broke people do on T. Wealth is built in the boring middle. It's built in the unsexy daily decisions. It's built in saying no to the things that don't matter so you can say yes to the things that do. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Aunt, I have bills, I have debt, I have responsibilities. I can't just start saving money out of nowhere. And you're right. Life is complicated. Life is expensive. Life throws curveballs, but here, ask the question I want you to ask yourself. If you Q1T save $1 today, what makes you think you'll be able to save $100 tomorrow? If you can't practice discipline with what you have now, why would having more change anything? The truth is, if you don't learn to manage a little, you'll never be able to manage a lot. The amount doesn't matter. The habit does. Let me give you a practical example. Let's say you spend $5 a day on random stuff. Coffee, snacks, apps, subscriptions, whatever. $5? That's nothing, right? Wrong. That's $150 a month. That's $1,800 a year. That's enough for an emergency fund. That's enough for a down payment on something. That's enough to invest and start growing wealth. $5 a day. That's all it takes. One small decision, repeated consistently, step by step, day by day, dollar by dollar. And here's the beautiful part. Once you start saving, once you see that number in your account growing, something magical happens in your brain. You get addicted. You get excited. You start finding more ways to save. You start getting creative. You start feeling powerful. Because for the first time, maybe in a long time, you're in control. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're not helpless. You're building something, grain by grain, piece by piece. And that feeling is worth more than anything money can buy. Now, let's talk about discipline for a second, because this is the core of everything. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes. It's not about punishing yourself or living a joyless life. Discipline is about making a promise to yourself and keeping it. It's about honoring your future self. It's about saying, I matter enough to invest in my own life. Every time you choose to save $1 instead of spending it, you're voting for your future. You're saying, I believe in myself. I believe I deserve better. I believe I can build something amazing. And the more you vote for yourself, the more you become that person. Here's a little challenge I want to give you right now. After you finish watching this video, and please watch it all the way through because we've got more gold coming, I want you to save $1. Just one. Put it somewhere. Hide it in a jar, transfer it to a savings account, stuff it in a book. I don't care. Just save $1. And then tomorrow, save another one. And the day after that, another one. For 30 days. That's $30. That's 1 month of proof that you can do this. That's 1 month of building the discipline muscle. And after 30 days, I promise you, you'll feel different. You'll feel stronger. You'll feel capable. Because you'll have evidence that you can keep a promise to yourself. And if you're loving this message right now, if this is resonating with you, do me a favor and hit that like button. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're ready to change your life, grain by grain. Drop a little ant emoji in the comments. Just as so, I know you're part of the colony. Because we're building something special here, and I want you to be part of it. Here's another truth bomb for you. Saving money doesn't require a high income. It requires a high commitment. I've seen people who make $30,000 a year save more than people who make $300,000 a year. How is that possible? Because the person making $30,000 decided to. They made it a priority. They cut the nonsense. They stopped trying to impress people who don't care. They stopped buying things they don't need with money they don't have. They got real with themselves. And they started building $1 at a time. That's power. That's freedom. That's wealth. And let's be honest for a second. Most of us aren't broke because we don't make enough money. We're broke because we spend everything we make. We're broke because we don't have a plan. We're broke because we think happiness comes from buying things. But I'm here to tell you, as a tiny ant who's seen both sides of the coin, that stuff doesn't make you happy. Security does. Freedom does. Knowing that you have a cushion, that you have options, that you're not one emergency away from disaster, that's what makes you happy. And that feeling is available to you right now. Today, with just $1. So let's recap, because I want this to stick with you. Saving money isn't about money, it's about discipline. It's about becoming the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves. It's about starting small and staying consistent. It's about grain by grain, step by step, dollar by dollar. It's about voting for your future self every single day. And it's about realizing that you don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Right now, today, with whatever you have. I believe in you, I really do. I'm just a tiny ant, but I've built an empire 1 grain at a time. And if I can do it, so can you. You have everything you need already inside you. You just need to decide. Decide that you're worth it. Decide that your future matters. Decide that today is the day everything changes. Not tomorrow, not next month, not when you get that raise. Today, right now. this moment. So here's what I want you to do. First, smash that like button if this message fired you up. Second, drop that ant emoji in the comments so I know you're committed. Third, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because we're just getting started and I've got so much more wisdom to share with you. And fourth, share this video with someone who needs to hear this message, someone who's struggling, someone who thinks they can't do it, someone who needs a reminder that change is possible, $1 at a time. Be that person who spreads hope. Be that person who lifts others up. Be the ant in your community who shows everyone that we're stronger together. Remember, my friend, you are capable of incredible things. You are stronger than you think. You are more disciplined than you believe. And your future is brighter than you can imagine. All you have to do is start. One grain, one step, $1. The colony is waiting for you. Let's build this empire together. I'll see you in the next video. Keep saving, keep growing, and keep believing. Grain by grain, we rise.